And I'm going to have to jump out of the stream here. We're getting started late. It's my fault. I got some family emergency stuff going on. I will have to abandon you guys here for just a minute. Richard's going to be joining us. He was just on the stream a second ago, but said he was going to have to get back to us. Hold on, I got to edit my stream info. Friday stream. Oh, hey, it worked this time.
It looks like we're live already.
Yes, we are live already.
Hey guys.
We did not have a pre-stream. No pro pre-stream. And my go live notification was Wednesday stream with Atos. I guess it's too late to do anything about a go live stream or notification, but Friday stream with, why am I not just copying? Hey, thank you very much, John Marcus. All right. This is pretty much the whole week. I'm looking forward to the weekend where I only work like 6 hours in the morning before the family gets up. Let's see. And let me tap. That is working there. Okay, let me get the chat bot up, and then I can go run and fix a family emergency while you guys stall. You guys, we got you two here. If Richard shows up, I can just take the whole stream off, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, we won't see the questions, but we can do our best.
Oh, we can see the questions. They'll just go by super fast. You gotta grab them as they go.
Yeah.
Hey,
we'll have to do trivia for prizes.
Thank you very much, Skeggy, for the raid. 13 people. Whoa. Bringing a party. That is the lucky 13. Hollyhawk, thank you very much for the resub. 12 months, 1 year. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, I got the information up. Let me see if my chat bot is up and working. Question test. Yes. Okay, so now any questions at least will not be lost. The only question that's going to be lost is Yaz72 asking, who's your daddy?
I depend on who he asked, I guess.
I also see one here from Rubikai. It may have been from the last stream. Question, do you or the dev or team ever stream dev work? I'll let Sanyo answer that.
I missed that question.
Well, I'll give my quick answer before I run off and deal with a few personal family things going on here. We had some sick fish, which pushed me a little late, and now I've got to get some people set up on stuff so they can have the family call with the grandparents. But yes, we do stream dev work. I don't do it that often. I haven't done it that often lately. Every now and then I'll get in the mood though. If you go and look at the map Tartarus, I live streamed almost the entire creation of that map over a couple day period. And when I say entire creation, I mean my part of it, which was the easy part of putting the levels together and figuring out the spawns, and then handing it off to Sanyo and some other people who actually made it look like it wasn't a high school kid making a map.
Not that high school kids can't make it.
Not that a high school kid can't make a map. We were all high school kids once. High school kids, you're awesome. A lot of energy. Let's see. Oh, you only see Chris. Is that intended? That is not intended.
I don't see a mailbox or a wall yet either.
Yeah, where's my mailbox? Okay, hold on. Let me get that logged in, then I can go deal with the family stuff.
Will there be a Bard travel song when Nods come out? I don't think that's been discussed.
A Bard travel song. Well, there's already it made it so it would work on the overworld today. There's already the Bard movement speed song. It's there. Do save your content, guys. Don't save your content, or you're gonna have to stall for a while I go take care of some stuff.
Okay.
Also keep an eye out for Richard rejoining the stream. I can also
what was the question that Chris you were answering? Like, do we stream?
Do we ever stream dev work?
Creation? So I've done that a bunch of times. I guess if you go to our YouTube archive. I think you'll see Alfheim in there several months ago, and I did a little bit of Lord British's Castle a few weeks ago. Was it 2 months ago now, maybe? So every once in a while I poke in. I don't do it from the very start. When I do sort of show off something, I'll have a basic scene, all the bits ready. I'll have maybe this terrain, so I'll have the terrain sort of prepped and roughly shaped. I'll have some general block out going on, but I don't do all the decoration. Sometimes I'll hold off on some decorations to do with live in front of some players. Oh, thanks for all the subs. Nice. Travis has done it a bunch, but his is usually late at night. Mine's usually like an afternoon when I do it. And I don't know if he's done it in a long while. But I guess we'll have to check with him next time. He's sort of switched his schedule around. He's fallen into, he's a late night guy, I guess, so he often works at night. So schedules have shifted. So what other questions we got? Rick, help me out here.
Well,
what's the theme? Is it just questions today?
Well, yeah, just questions, and Chris was going to talk a little bit about the recent updates he's doing to Armor, or some of it's just brainstorming with some of it he's actually put in, I think, with the Obsidian Armor maybe already, but he'll have more on that. We can talk about the new price reductions on deeds. Also, since we're not in pre-stream now, we can introduce ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yep.
Cool, let's do that. You want to go first?
Sure, thanks. I'm Keith Quinn. I go by Sanio on the forums. And I am the level designer and quest designer, pot implementer here on Shroud of the Avatar. And I wear a few other hats too, but those are the big buckets. So if you have questions about quests, maybe some NPC conversations, maybe some episode 2 ideas. I want to point out that I love how players love the pot-to-pot teleporters, and especially the signpost teleporters you can now get. The pot-to-pot teleporters were something I pushed for, both because some players had asked for like special placement requirements for some teleporters, which were outside the guidelines that we have for ourselves, but also because I wanted to lighten my workload a little bit to help me focus more on creative content and not necessarily something that players could do themselves, place a teleporter. So I love that you guys love that. And the signpost teleporter was something that had come up. I'm not going to say I was the one who pushed for that, but it was definitely Wizard Smoke, Joaquin, who grabbed that ball and ran with it and did a great job. And he's still working to improve it. Some players wonder sometimes, will we continue to improve it? And the answer is yes. He's not ready to share the improvements yet, so I won't steal his thunder. But he is still, loop back every once in a while and do some improvements. Little Bird loves the signposts. I love him too. Love him. The greatest thing that he did, I'm going to gush about him for a second. The greatest thing that he did with the signposts was that the names, if you didn't know, you can name your signpost, like when it's in your pack or whatever. And then when you place that signpost down, the signpost network picks up on that new name. A secret thing he did, he said, he set it so that it will, the signpost that I put down as a developer, they use the same sort of network. So if there was some place where somehow my signpost and your signpost were in the world, they would all link to the same network. So it's kind of neat. He did a great job. What else?
Plus they're dyeable too, and I think all but the signpost have a decoration surface as well, at least one.
You sure?
That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, all but the signpost. I tested it out on Editor, and
signpost should on base.
Oh, maybe he had to add that in later.
Okay. I secretly added it in. Damon didn't do it, but I did.
Oh, gotcha.
So if you're going by what Damon has suggested, you should try it again, because maybe I added it after you tested it. Or maybe I added it wrong, because it's not normally the thing I do. So go check that out. I wanted all of the teleporters these first ones and all future ones to have some way to decorate it other than just dyeing it. I wanted to be able to put something special on it or next to it to help identify it. Because what I like to do when I do decorations in this game and other games, I like to have like iconic. So say like if there's a teleporter that's going to go, or that's near, that's somehow connected to like a library. So I want to put like books probably on the base. And if there's another one connected to war stuff, armor, weapons, these things would go on the base. Things like that. Something sort of like religious in some way, or philosophical. I might put like, I guess I could put books too, but I might put candles. In our game, I might put like little locks or something. So that's the sort of stuff I would like to do, and I think players would also like to do that kind of thing. So that's why I slipped that in there under the radar to put the decoration surface on the base, not anywhere on the post itself, just on the base. Maybe I did it wrong. So if you can check for me, that would be.
Oh yeah, I can double check. I'm sure that a lot of people will be trying to. Sometimes people might want to put a little note or a book, next to the, or a light source on it, so it stands out more at nighttime. So we did have a question that scrolled by earlier that's geared up for you, Sanyo,
Yep.
and it was, and usually these come hand in hand, and we get this once in a while. Mailboxes and banks in the 3 starting locations, technically 6 starting locations, Salisbridge outskirts. What do you think on that?
We had a few conversations when we first put in the outskirts, and we didn't want to put those in. We didn't want to put town criers or mailboxes or banks. Those are 3, or public vendors. Those are some utilities that are common to NPC towns. Since this was an adventure scene, we didn't want to put it in. But then we thought, well, it's do we want to teach you about that early on? And one of the things we did with the starter scene revisions and this was to try to strip out some of the things you didn't need to know yet. We want because in the early versions of the game, we really just flood you with a lot of stuff, and it wasn't necessarily in a specific order. Like A leads to B, leads to C, leads to D. We were like, here's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So we wanted to limit what was available. And then on another, so the town crier, for example, there was no need for a town crier. We thought, well, he's got the binding thing, but the town crier offers a whole range of services. His primary purpose is to help get you situated like in a lot, or a primary purpose. And there was no lots there. It is not an NPC town. We didn't want the bank and the mail there because we didn't want you to get, for new players, we didn't want you distracted by items that you might be getting prematurely. There were other conversations. I wasn't in on all of them, but it was things like that. Mostly they came down to we wanted to sort of maintain consistency with other adventure scenes, and we wanted to not throw everything at you at the time. However, it does come up every once in a while, and we do have like a little conversation about it again. I want to say this about the episode 2 scenes, because we will be experimenting with breaking some of those rules a little bit. So, for example, the new the first NPC town scene that's going in is Tanglemire, and when I spawned that this past week, I did a couple of things. It is what we consider an NPC town, but on the outskirts of that scene, or maybe like roughly half of the scene's area, we have threats. We have bad guys. So it's a little bit like Valhold, where, or maybe even like a Tenebrous Harbor. There's a certain sort of safe pocket where you don't fight anything, and there's some NPCs that can give you backstory or help you out. Maybe it's crafting stations, but deeper into the scene, the further off the main path or away from the town to get the tougher bits. So anyway, in Tanglemire, what I'm going to experiment with, and we'll see if it works, we'll probably do it with all episode 2 towns, I'm putting in a town crier who I actually considered maybe calling him something different, but right now he's called a town crier. And he doesn't do anything with lots because there's no lots that players can get in that scene. But he will let you bind to that scene, and he will accept undelivered mail. I'm also putting in a public vendor, and there's a banker and a mailbox. So these services, I think, and also a couple of merchants and the crafting and adventurer trainer. So these services are kind of important for NPC towns. So I didn't want to just throw them away because this is some sort of like town adventure scene hybrid. So we'll. As Chris is back and Richard just popped up.
Yep, Richard's here now. Hey,
So
Richard.
there you go. That's
Howdy. Am I unmuted?
I'm hearing you.
No.
All right, great. Great to see everybody. Sorry about my delinquency. I meant to jump in at the beginning, but I had a call run late.
So Richard, I've been saying that wherever you go, the outbreaks of COVID follow you. You've now taken it to the space station. That was very irresponsible of you.
Yes, and in fact, I didn't. I hadn't. Of course, until I launched Skype, I didn't know what the background was. So that was obviously from some previous call I was on.
Oh, hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, they're saying you're in space again.
There we go.
Oh,
But
space station.
here's where I really am. I'm in the 6 foot wide, 6 foot deep little woodshed behind our
We're getting-
apartment.
Hold on, I'm fixing that. There you go. Ravlox joined us and did not. I just muted you, Ravlox. You were echoing us. Yeah, that's a nice woodshed, Richard.
It is, but you notice I added, I added a little shelf. I've got some, little things on here like some medallions and coins and other things too.
Wow.
I'm slowly, putting game maps up. I had to bring some over from the States, but I'm trying to get back into the groove in fully over here.
Yeah,
You
you
did your geocache back in the day, Richard, where we ended up. Spoiler alert for anyone who did do it. There's a skip ahead a minute if you want to avoid spoiler. But where you got that crush the coin at the end, and
Yeah.
so I still have that coin. It was good. It was good geocache. Sure.
Yeah, that geocache is still working right now. It's actually just before I came out here, we were actually up there kind of updating that geocache, the Britannia Manor geocache, for those who have not done it. There's both the long and correct way to do it, which starts at a graveyard on the east side of Austin at a grave that a friend of ours, Dale, Elad, from Elad's Lighthouse, he found a grave of a guy named Orville M. Arbuckle that died on July 4th, 1961, the day that I was born. And the quest starts there and leads around all across the city of Austin, eventually to my backyard there along Lake Austin, to a graveyard with animatronics or little light buzzer things that go off, and a giant tower that you collect codes to get to the inside of from the quest. And if you have the codes when you get there, and you're advised to bring a stack of quarters, because on the inside of the tower is a quarter crusher. But the whole graveyard and inside there is also decorated with stuff that everybody else has brought to the geocache. So anyway, it's big fun, and it's sort of thematic to the game. So if you get down to Austin sometime and you're a geocacher or would like to be a geocacher, go check it out. You usually find actually some game paraphernalia down in the cache itself too. Either take some or bring some of your own to add to the pile.
So if anybody wondered if Richard is creative and makes games up outside of work-related stuff, he does.
Absolutely.
And
Gaming
we
is a
got-
lifestyle, as we all know.
And we got Stephen with us, aka Ravlox. Are you unmuted, Stephen?
I should be. Can you
Oh,
hear me
yeah.
okay?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. I don't know if you wanted
Great.
to dive into your bug stuff early since you lost connection last time, and while you're stable, maybe get that
call.
knocked out.
Yeah.
And I've got to go
Actually,
AFK for a few minutes, but like any one of you four guys could probably talk the whole stream, so I'll be back in a few minutes. But you guys drive for a bit.
Yeah, so last week I was actually up north in Dallas area and had some problems with the internet connectivity, and then Scott, where I'm staying down in Austin, also had internet connection problems, but that was resolved yesterday, so I should be okay. However, I am more than willing to take over the stream for some period of time to talk about all sorts of stuff.
Cool.
Okay, so what I was going to get to last week is that we're going to bring back the Bug Brigade, and it's going to be a different format this time. Instead of being in a small group of people, we're kind of opening it up to everyone. So there will be a sign-up sheet. Everybody who wants to be involved can sign up to the Bug Brigade, and the monthly rewards for participating will be not a lottery. It will be the progression, back to basically, I think, somewhat the original methodology. And there'll be documentation. I'll put it up on the forums that has all the specifics on what's involved and what the rewards are, what the progression tree is, and stuff like that. I've pretty much mapped out 2 years worth of rewards that are unique. And at that point, we go into kind of like an end game stuff, and I'll probably be bugging Damon about making some new assets at that point. But it gives us a little buffer because we already have enough stuff, including the pre-existing bug rewards and some of the other things that are kind of bug themed that are in the store that we'll basically give away as part of this process. So one of the things that's different here as well is that there'll be bug moderators. So a handful of people, and this is kind of more where the original Bug Brigade were, right? The specialists, as it were. So we're going to have a handful of people that will actually be helping to process the bugs. If you're watching the forums now, you may notice that this is already happening. Have myself and a few people who are still not announced yet are helping to process the bugs and get the kinks out of the system, all the processes and rules and guidelines that are involved in the thing. And so we'll be ready for the actual hard launch at release 81. There's a backlog, as we all know, of bugs on the forum. I don't want to discourage anybody from submitting a bug or posting about a bug on the forum. That needs to be addressed, obviously. And so we're trying to clean all that up, going through that. I have a backlog queue that I'm entering JIRAs into. The team has already noticed that there's more JIRAs coming in. And we're getting some of those we're getting resolved right away, and some of them, of course, will not be resolved right away based on priority and stuff like that. So it's when we're all caught up, it'll be a first in, first out system, and priorities will be appropriately applied, which is normal. There's nothing really unusual there at all. Then there's a few things that we've changed where you'll notice that the bugs are now being posted saying verified. So that's where the bug moderators are going out, and they're actually testing what the players have submitted to make sure it can be reproduced on a player client, not on a GM client. And I try to test my stuff on on player clients as well, just to make sure that there's nothing wacky going on. There have been a few examples of that where GM clients can't duplicate an issue. So then once it's verified, it's submitted basically back to me, and then I go and I submit it into our ticketing system and get it assigned to who I believe is the right dev, and then it gets a process from there. And the forum will then be updated with the ticket number. And we're putting it right in the title of the forum post now as well. So this way, you could actually go in there and just search on a ticket number and be able to bring the post to thread up, that type of situation. And it'll make it easier for even the devs to find things in the end to update and ask more questions and things like that, just in case the thread URL is not posted into our ticketing system. So again, I'm not going to go into more detail about that. I have it all laid out in the sheet, and as time goes on, you guys will see there's going to be more details and more steps taken to make sure that the stuff is processed in a timely manner and accurately. Which of course, I'll migrate over to saying that we do appreciate all the players putting in the bugs. Please keep suggestions for improvements and or wish list items in those appropriate areas. We do have feedback forums or forum sections and wish list sections for those things. The Bug Brigade moderators are also cleaning those up and moving them to the appropriate places when need be. But of course, it would help a lot if we didn't have to dig through that stuff to get to the actual bugs. And of course, we understand the passion that's involved when there's an issue. But if the details, the bug template, and the details on how to reproduce a bug, screenshots, videos, things like that have been submitted to a bug thread. We don't really need to know that it's happening to me too. So if you have more information to supply, great. Otherwise, you could like the post. That'll tell us that there's more people watching that, and they're aware that the problem's happening to them as well, or whatever. And if we need more information, we will not hesitate to change the title of the thread to needs more info and post a post in the thread outlining what we need to have done to collect further logs, screenshots, or videos, or whatever to help us figure out what's going on. So if any of you guys have any questions, then that would help me guide along anything else you want me to say about this. Otherwise, I think I've covered pretty much everything. So
That's cool to have that back, especially the recognition program associated to it.
Yeah, and as I said, it's going to start with pretty much the same progression. All the items that were in the original bug rewards are there. It's a new set of titles. There'll be a title issued in progression. So think of this kind of like the subscription program. As long as you meet the minimum requirements, which is really just submit one bug a month or help test bugs, that type of thing. As long as you meet the minimum requirements of being in the program, then you get the rewards each month, and you'll be going up that progression. So approximately every 3 months, you'll get a new title, and the title will be in-game. There's going to be a Bug Brigade, a Bug Hunter title on the forum for being part of that, and then, of course, in-game as well. So, as I said, it goes on for a bit. There's some good stuff there, and of course, this ties in with my whole effort to get the QA server, which I've redubbed the player test environment, up and running in a cycle where we could get players actually in there and help test the fixes before they go on the live server, which will improve the quality of life completely on the live server.
Cool deal. I have something to add also just for what's in the update. Does anyone else have anything? And I can go after you.
I have some questions that I'm reflecting that I can answer, but you can go first.
All right, cool.
Actually, I would like to mention something first. We didn't do the prizing yet because Richard, I think, is chomping at the bit to read off the prizes. But Chris is the one who runs that script, and he's not available right now. So we'll catch up once Chris gets
although
back.
I realized I scrolled back till the beginning of the hour, and you guys haven't done one yet, as far as I can tell. So you are way overdue.
Yep.
But you guys know out there, I'm watching out for you. I know this, at least. I don't know if you enjoy prizing, but I do. So hoping we can double down a bit later.
You enjoy it because you like promoting the Lord British version of the banner over there.
Absolutely. And I enjoy the challenge of trying to pronounce everybody's names and murder.
Yeah, it's rough. All right, so sorry, back to you, Rick.
All right, cool. So this week's update, this is just going to be a pricing update. If you noticed, we had a very significant reduction in deed upgrade prices and actual deed sale prices on the Coda Store. So if you'll notice, since Lord British's birthday celebration, deeds have stayed on sale 20% off. Well, that is going to be the new normal, guys. They're going to stay at that price, and any subsequent sales for deed upgrades will come off of that base price. And also, deeds in the Crown Store, I just submitted the change today, and it's being reviewed. So We have 11 different types of deeds in the Crown Store, and all of those are going to be 30% off. And what that does is it provides a perfect matchup. If you do a comparison for the upgrade price and the discounted deed, you'll see that they actually match up perfectly. I don't know if there was an aberration before. Well, what I also did, because I know people through the years have received deeds from stream prizes and stuff like that are no trade. Well, I went into every single deed archetype and I made sure there was a package for price trade on each one of them as well, and also that it reflected the new prices. So not only will you be able to trade what you might not have been able to trade before because it was a no trade prize deed, but it'll reflect the price of the new discounted prices. And so that's definitely big news, and hopefully it'll inspire some people to expand their vendor operations into more towns and that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy that.
Richard, I like your background.
Oh, is that wizardry? What is that?
No,
What
isn't
do you
that
mean,
Calabeth?
You crazy man. Yes, of course that's a Calabath.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Were you able to make it past 3 turns before dying?
Yeah, because you run out of food.
That game was rough.
I think I just lost cool points.
I want the president of Bacalabeth on the
You lost
phone.
some kind of points
Oh, there
there.
he is right there.
You'll be forgiven. It just means that despite your gray hair, you're not quite as old as you should be.
Oh, right.
So I see a few questions I'm going to take a
Sure.
shot at. One is, will Isle of Storms come back as part of the Avatar origin? So let's split it into 2 parts. Will it come back? I have in the back of my mind that I'd like to use it. So it's originally the tutorial in the starting area had you go through Isle of Storms first, for the players who don't know that. And then we pulled that out of the starting scene to sort of, as part of our streamlining and consolidation of some of the early experiences, early adventure. Isle of Storms is a bunch of floating rocks that you adventure on, and our fiction is that the moon has been wrecked, and part of the Isle of Storms Isle of Storms is part of that, the wreckage, the debris. That's correct, Richard? The good summary? Yes. Okay. So it's a pretty neat area, and we've expanded onto it before we took away and made a tutorial area. So I've actually had some thoughts of allowing players to go back to it to do little one-off tutorials. So if a player doesn't know how to do looting, then they might find a character that can send them to the looting room of Isle of Storms. They can learn more about that. So that's in the back of my mind. Low priority, but potentially something we can go back to. And the other part is we'll come back as part of the Avatar origin. So each of your player characters, if you didn't know, is potentially the Avatar, and you're trying to find out if you are the Avatar. A lot of NPCs will just assume that everyone is an Avatar, but maybe there's really just one. I guess our fiction sort of like leaves it open one way or the other as to whether you are or aren't, or everyone is, or whatever. Will it come back as part of the origin, as in tutorial? No. Will it come back as part of the fiction? We will. It is part of our plan to have. I don't know how much we said about this. Maybe it's a spoiler. We like the idea of floating rocks as adventure scenes. So we will probably have another adventure scene, a different, like an episode 2 adventure scene that is floating rock based. Will it connect to like tutorial? Probably not. So I see Chris is back. Chris, we're behind on the. He did it. The prize bots.
Oh, not anymore. Now Richard can read them. Richard?
He was excited. He was looking for it.
I know, he was yelling at me. I was seeing the all caps stuff come across there.
I know I was. You guys on the channel didn't realize I just posted in the channel, but I was already posting in our Mattermost private channel about the prizing over and over again. But yes, I'm very excited to now come down here and let's see if I
chime in
can
1
find
second.
it.
My
There it
question
is.
was from Shadow Ice, by the way. I just wanted to give him credit about the Isle of Storms. That was from Shadow Ice.
All right. So may I do the prizing now?
Do the prize. All you, Richard.
All right, excellent. So Our first prize, which is an ornate fish throne. An ornate fish throne goes to Takamune. Takamune, you have an ornate fish throne. Then, let me widen this here a little bit to make sure I don't get something cut off. Then, the very long, which I didn't want to cut off, the replenishing aerial gold ring fish combo fireworks. Woo! That goes to Gleppo 1. Gleppo 1, you get the replenishing aerial gold ring fish combo fireworks. The ornate fish pavers goes to Lumax Olafsson. Lumax Olafsson, you get the ornate fish pavers. Well, I see a theme going here. There's the fishing rod of prosperity, something I need. The fishing rod of prosperity goes to Orange Debs, DBS Debs. Orange Debs, you get the fishing rod of prosperity. And our final thing, big one, it's a good one. It's a rustic 3-story village water home. That's going to go to Jaff Windsong. Jaff Windsong, you are the proud owner, hopefully proud owner of a rustic 3-story village water home. Enjoy, everybody, and I will hopefully encourage Chris to run the prizing again soon, since we're already 37 minutes into the hour, and that was the first prizing of the evening. So I'll keep the pressure on to get out more prizes.
Apologies.
Get the prizes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the to get the prizes. If you hadn't already done it, I presume. Well, those people already knew this, but it's wishing I was fishing. Wishing I was fishing is what you got to do. You got to say that in chat in the game. That's one way to get it. They can't do it in the stream, right? It has to be in the game. Is that correct?
Yes,
or they
correct.
can purchase something on the web add-on store.
Or make a purchase of any size, any kind, any amount on the website store, or say wishing I was fishing in game. One of those two will get you in the running for the next time around, because I'm going to keep the pressure on, because I want more prizes coming out, all night long. So as far as I'm concerned, but anyway, congratulations for you 5, and looking forward to giving out 5 more here real soon.
Nice.
Let's see. Well, you guys, I just put up a ton more questions. I'm sure there's some stuff you guys can get in there. I should be doing a lot of talking here since I've been off the stream a lot, and apologies again for that, people. I normally would not do that, but we've got lots of stuff going on that I had to help with in the house, and helping my mom, and exhausting. And I normally wouldn't have done that. I would have told them just get lost, but I figured these 4 guys can easily handle 2 hours of content if we wanted them to. Richard, I told them I'd do a drinking stream soon, by the way, just so you know. Did you know that?
So I'm going to answer another question then.
Okay. I'm looking up one thing for somebody.
This is from Yaz72. Are there any thoughts on being able to reset individual quests instead of having to reset entire quest log? I've been stuck on 3 quests, but have all others done and don't wish to reset all just to get those 3 done. So if you haven't submitted a bug, please submit a bug for each of those quests. Whatever details you can give would be great, because the more details, the better for me as the quest guy, because I will try to go in and fix it. The easier it will be to fix, the sooner I'll be able to get to it. It's usually how it goes these days. Sometimes it's just like a compass marker's not appearing, so that's pretty easy for me to fix. If there's some logic to be worked out, then I'll try to get it as soon as I can.
But Keith, I think the question was a little more general than that. It was more general of if they really want to just abandon a quest, can they purge it?
So we don't have that, but if I can fix the quest, I will usually try to fix it, or always try to fix it. It doesn't always work this way. I'll always try to fix it in a way that the player it'll just fix itself. That's my best case scenario. So sometimes, like if you have like a task that just won't go away, it's lingering in your little quick list. Sometimes I can set that up so it put in like some extra logic in there, extra gimmicks, and the quest will go away the next time you log in. So that's a nice, easy thing. If the quest is troubling, like I don't know, maybe you can't get an item from an NPC that you're trying to loot or something like that, or you just can't turn in the quest for some reason. Sometimes I can fix the NPC's conversation so that they do a better recognition of what you've done, and all you have to do is go back to that last NPC that you needed to talk to, and things will catch up, and then you can complete right there. So
they can hide it, can't they? There is a
you can hide it too if it's a problem, but I'd rather fix it. because you're probably not the only one who, you're probably not the only one who might be having that problem. So if I can fix it, then if the problem was you just want to get rid of it because you can't complete it, well, if you try it again, you might be stuck again. So better for me to fix it, and for you and for everyone. Even still, if you decided a quest was like just too much trouble, or you didn't like the content of the quest or something, you didn't like the NPC you had to talk to, too far away, didn't want to do it just yet. So we don't have any system right now to drop an individual quest. And as far as I know, we are not working toward that. Personally, I've been thinking lately it would be nice to offer the option for a second full reset if you wanted it. This is not exactly the question he was asking, but right now you can reset all your quests one time only. There's a few flags you get to keep. Your virtue scores aren't flush; they're sort of just clamped to like a certain minimum and maximum. But maybe you actually did your reset like long ago, years ago at this point, and maybe for whatever reason you want to reset it like today, but you can't. I'd like to put in something. This is more in the back of my mind. This is not something I'm working on right now, but I'd like to put in something where you can actually reset a second time. Maybe earn that reset through a quest. I know some games that have that kind of thing. Anyway, that's just a thought right there.
All right, I was researching a question here that Elrond had asked, which was, Lord of the Isle castle deeds are not supposed to take up town square footage. Is that still a thing? I think that's supposed to be a thing. I'm guessing you're asking because it doesn't work? Because I'm not seeing the code for that right now. I was looking for that while they were talking. But that is something that is supposed to be a thing. Isn't that still in the description? Elgarion, you probably know that stuff more than any of us.
I'm sorry, I can only do one thing. I was typing.
Oh, you were goofing off in class? Come on.
That wasn't the question.
Get off Facebook, man.
Come on.
I can confirm he does absolutely nothing on Facebook.
I haven't seen that at all. If that was part of the offering.
That was supposed to be a perk, and I was looking into it. I see what I need to add it to change that, but currently it does not look like it's a thing. Maybe it's something we mentioned on a stream. Elrond, can you clarify what you were asking?
Thing.
But yeah, basically making the Lodi deed not count against the square footage of the town.
Well, I know we went not recently, but quite a while ago, and made keep and castle lots not count proportionally to their size against towns. I don't know if that same treatment was done with Lodi deeds or not.
Yeah, I guess that's true. The actual thing that sets that value is the stone you put down is what adds that value. And you put down you don't put down a Lord of the Isle deed thing. You actually put down the stone. So the stone would take it off. So we'd have to come up with a special stone. It wouldn't be in the deed. It'd be in the stone you put down and having it take off. So I can look into that. I think that's something we mentioned. I don't think that would be that hard though to do. I'm looking at all the code right now, and it looks like it'd be pretty easy. We already have like 10 cases in there. I just need to add an 11th case for it. So yeah, I'll look into that. That'd be another good one. We've sold a couple here recently, but we still have some more Lord of the Isles. And Richard is a master ring maker and wants to make you rings. That's correct, right?
Oh, sorry, I was looking at my unmute. And the word master, I think, is people could debate it. However, it is true that even like I just took off now one of the rings that I made. This goes back to before. Well, if I can see it, there you go. Before I was even making the first Ultima, when I was running my D&D campaigns, I would make actual physical prizes. They go back to you might think of it as a predecessor to the swag that became part of what was in boxes. I actually would give out rings to the players in homage to the Lord of the Rings, of course, as you might imagine. And I said it's the one ring I've worn my whole life, all the way through. And so I really am looking forward to making rings for y'all. I still in my back in a couple 2 weeks I'll be back stateside, back in my home back in the U.S. I have a silversmithing workshop. It is all set up to make the rings. Ultimately, I need to get from y'all which sizes to make. But I really look forward to forging these rings that, if you choose to wear them, could give you great powers, but perhaps great personal risk to your life in other ways. But only those of us who have them will know ultimately.
So I'm sure we're going to get some people yelling like, answer soda questions or whatever, but I have to ask questions about this story you just told us because, so you gave out rings for your adventures. Now I have a question. When you killed the players, like if you killed their players, did you take the ring back?
Well, so that would be a presumption of presuming permadeath, which I'm not a big believer in. So
hopefully they didn't actually kill the players. It was just a character.
Yeah, so if the real person died, I don't know. No one who has one of these rings has actually died in real life, and so therefore you never know. They might be rings of immortality. But yes, and this particular one, by the way, has Elvish scripture written on the inside of it, etc. In fact, my alternate name, my other character name is Shamanos Saleh Dasil, and the Dasil is actually an Elvish Tolkien word, and is part of the inscription on the inside of this particular ring. But in any case, yes, I do look forward to making them, and at least so far, they have imbued immortality to all those who have worn them in the real world. So please don't be the first person to break that rule. I trust that this will continue.
Guaranteed to make you immortal until you die.
Absolutely guaranteed.
So I was actually talking, and I don't know how I didn't remember the answer. What was the answer from a few weeks ago when we were talking about stones? Do we think we can put our own version of stones in the game?
No, the players can. The players absolutely can. But we as the team would be treading it. At least about my personal interpretation, it might be debatable. But by all means, the versions that other players have created, if they put it in the game, then we can help it, as in a social network, help it spread. But I'm not sure that we, the company or the team, could build one from scratch ourselves and put it in the game.
All right, I'm working with. There's a bunch of people who want to get music into the game. A couple of my few responses too, but I was talking to the Graceful Bard, and she was wanting to get some music in the game. She's actually, I guess she does professional music for a living, which this is like the absolute worst possible time to be a live performing musician, obviously. So definitely go support her stream. But also she was going to give us some music that she had made. I guess that was one of the ones that she had made. So we'll have to figure out if there's a way we can let them put it in there.
Phenomenally good. And so, yes, by all means, she made it. She can put it up into the game, or you can assist her in putting it up into the game. I think that's just fine. Offline, you and I can talk about if I think the thing you want to separate is, in the past we've given bounties to some people that created music. I think you should avoid a bounty that is explicit to IP that is from the outside. But otherwise, as long as you don't cross that, I think that you're fine.
Okay, well, we'll come up with a way that we can let people do that and see what happens there. And it's not like we bash on Ultima. I mean, there's no bigger Ultima fans or supporters than people in here, so I don't think they hate us that much.
No, I don't know. No, I think by the way, I still go into Ultima Online periodically and do Lord British appearances, so we support each other down through time, and so I don't think anybody will be concerned. We just want to make sure we protect ourselves from debate. So just be careful to do it correct.
For sure, EA.
Yes, I'd love to see those in the. I'd love to get a chance to experience those in the game, like we did for that live event. And so, by all means, accept those.
I have a couple of questions that I could answer here.
Go for it.
Ready?
I'm throwing them up.
So, first one is related to bugs. Azazel Reborn, I think I'm saying that right, asked if we had an estimate on how long we would spend on bug fixes once the bug is accepted as a bug. Do you give it a time frame? And of course, that is entirely dependent on the bug itself, whether we could locate the issue internally and how much work and adjustments are required to correct it. So can't really give a specific time frame or an SLA against bugs, but definitely you have the priorities. The criticals and the blockers would be addressed first, and then moving down to the other stuff that's lower level. And of course, part of this to offset it is that personnel like myself and Elgarian can go in and make adjustments to things where, like, let's say a book is not laying down on its side. I just fixed 89 of those in the game last week, and I've gone a full sweep through the book system, and I got 15 books left that have improper content that's going to be fixed. But those lower priority ones, things that are floating in scenes, things along those lines, they are obviously not going to be addressed by the primary devs immediately. And as long as we have bandwidth, then we'll pick up the slack on those things. I hope that answers it as best we can there. I can't really give a time frame to those. Then I think it was Elron who had asked me about the streaming bot, which, yes, the Discord streaming bot is currently silent. Discord had made an API change, and I spent a weekend getting the bot updated so that way it could communicate again. The only thing that they put a blockade in my way was the stream pops bot that they've made some changes that are just going to require me to make some further adjustments. And to be honest, I've been distracted by other things, so it's kind of in the cycle of things. So I'll be getting back to that shortly.
I want to give people an update on builds, because we've been for a while without a build, and that's actually having a meeting about the cause for that was part of what made us late on the stream. Not that we were late, we were just... Usually we have our pre-stream, and we basically got on at like 3:59 today. But we'd had some... For basically a year and a half or so, I've been the only guy who has done integrations to the actual live branch in our development process. So recently, Wizard Smoke said, you know what, I want to learn how to do that, just so we can have a backup, because it'd be cool if I could go on a vacation without having to be freaked out about that stuff for emergencies and whatever. But anyways, which was great, except he's been doing it a lot, and like integrating things that he knows are safe fixes over and doing kind of stuff that I've been doing. And he didn't realize that every time he integrates while I'm in the middle of a build, the build process, that it basically breaks it and I can't publish that build. And I think I'd mentioned it to him once, and it happened again just because I think he missed it because we spam up our chat channels. So we just had a meeting just before this to discuss that. But you guys probably don't care that much about that. The fallout from that is the build I was hoping to publish like 3 days ago, and then also today, is going to be hopefully tomorrow morning. He's going to hold off on doing any integrations, and we have a process that we're actually creating yet another new branch that'll be a staging branch. So that's one of those things we do try to do, which is we may screw up occasionally on things, but whenever we have one of these like systemic, like this has happened multiple times, like we need to come up with a permanent fix for it so it never happens again. So we're changing our process so that type of stuff never happens again and we don't block our builds. But anyways, the too long didn't read version is the build hopefully will be out tomorrow morning, that will have a number of changes in it, including some of the epic rings can be enchantable, and the first pass at the obsidian armor will be in that one. I'd love to see some feedback. I've got a bunch of just tweet chats about that, and I'll probably talk about it in my own stream sometime. But just on what I've been discovering as I dive through the crafting system and try to learn how things really work. And kind of the short version of that is armor is useless. Armor is purely the only value to it is in the enchants and masterwork that go on it. Plate, mail, leather, whatever. It's all useless. So anyways, build tomorrow morning. Also, QA build has been blocked by the same thing. We are addressing that. There'll be a QA build out. I think also I mentioned in a tweet, which I'm going to try to get my tweets on the front page of our website, by the way. So you don't have to go watch my tweet or follow my tweets. I know Twitter is horrible for some people. But the crash that is happening with AMD is the latest point version of Unity, which is one we can safely move to, 2018. They claim they have fixed that version. So that will be the point version, hopefully, will fix the AMD crash. And for those who don't know what it is, that's probably because either you are on NVIDIA or you're on AMD and have not upgraded your graphics driver. But there are some situations, or you don't go to a town where there's special shaders and dyes and stuff like that. Because there was a crash that was being caused on AMDs if you updated your video drivers. So, but hopefully we'll have that fixed for real in the next patch, which I'm going to do probably over the weekend. You guys got some more questions to answer here? I think we should have pricing. Did the pricing not go off? What happened to the pricing? Hold on, let me find it.
All right, I got another question.
Ah, cued. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Omer Taxo? Is that how you say it? Mm-hmm. Will Quest experience ever be restored to the 10 times experience as posted many months ago? And Chris, you can correct me on this. I think the answer is we won't be going to 10 times. Every once in a while, we'll be doing 2 times for special, usually weekend events, or it might be an extended weekend. What I've been doing since that time frame was going through quests and updating them all or maybe not all of them, but I'm trying to give higher experience to quests in tougher areas or quests that are more challenging, or even if it's like a daily repeatable quest, because it doesn't happen as often. Sort of like trying to bump the experience with that, and also not just experience, but the gold, the rewards gold, and trying to improve the gold that comes with it. If there are specific quests, so I did a big first pass on a bunch of quests, and if there are more that absolutely need this kind of attention, especially if there's side quests, the main quest sort of has its own sort of like scale of when it gives you like grand experience and rewards and such. Side quests, there's probably a whole bunch out there that still need more love. So if you have some specific that you think aren't offering the right amount, let me know. Post a bug on the forums, and I'll go back and fix those, and we'll get a better, healthier quest reward system all around, rather than just sort of like, brute forcing extra experience on you. We want to make sure that early quests, the simpler ones, are lower experience or no lower than they have been, and then the harder quests and newer quests have greater experience and gold and other rewards.
Yeah, and the 10x experience was just because at some point I went through and looked at most of the quests. I mean, part of it was we were trying to get you guys to stay home and go and do quests, and make quests feel like there's a point in doing them. For those players who are more interested in the rewards than the actual storyline, which I'm sure Richard would say shame on you. But anyways, the rewards for those were crazy low, so it was never intended to leave the 10x on. It was intended that we do the adjustments that Sanyo has been doing on those things. Maybe there's some of them need a few tweaks. You're free to give us some input on those things. We'd love to see the rewards match up with those. The blanket 10x experience point was really just this is horrible, and we also want to give you guys an excuse to stay home and go do the quest and stuff. So,
yeah, the daily quests I think have all been touched and improved. So you can check those out if you were avoiding them because maybe you thought the experience wasn't good, but they should be good. Frankly, the 10 times experience kind of maybe broke's the wrong word, but in my eyes, they kind of like broke some of the quests. Like some repeatable quests had to be turned into daily quests because there was just so much experience flooding in that it was being flagged as cheats.
And that was also part of the problem is most of the quests did need, many of the quests did need to be 10x what they were. Some of them not so much. Some of them were more recent and had been adjusted. So the flat 10x just need to go. The prizes, we should have prizes there. Yay, it worked.
We do. We have prizing. It's so exciting. I'm so excited. Hope you guys are excited too.
I'm excited.
If I may.
Go for it.
All right, excellent. Thank you. First, we have an ornate fish throne. And for saying, wishing I was fishing or making a purchase, Moonshadow Eldian is the owner of an ornate fish throne. I can't wait to see how that looks in your place. A fish throne. What else could be fishier? A replenishing aerial gold ring fish combo fireworks goes to Z, Xee, Z. You have the replenishing aerial gold ring fish combo fireworks. And some ornate fish pavers goes to Kathy Earnshaw. Kathy Earnshaw, you have an ornate fish paver set. I hope you use it to decorate your place with a deep fishy appeal. And the fishing rod of prosperity, one of my favorites. A fishing rod of prosperity goes to Bar Brady. Bar Brady! Is that like Officer Bar Brady, I believe? Yes, fishing rod of prosperity goes unto thee. And our biggest prize, literally the physically largest, the rustic 3-story village water home, goes to Radicus. Radicus, thank you for supporting the game. Enjoy your rustic 3-story village water house. And that was our next prizing. And that might be our last, based on looking at the hour.
Yeah, we're at the end of the hour here. I did want to mention while we're talking about experience, the 2x experience points thing. We had turned it on because there had been a surge, at least in America, in terms of the COVID. That surge has died off some, and we're hopefully on the downward slope. Why are you shaking your head, Richard?
Let's see. Am I still unmuted? Yes. So the reason I'm shaking my head is, boy, has America not done this right. As some of you know, I fled from. New York was one of the first big hotspots. So we fled to our place down in Austin, Texas, which is where I'm really from. So we have this piece of property that I own down there. So we thought we could just hide out at our little fish camp. And speaking of wishing I was fishing, and then Texas became a hotspot. And my wife is French, and her family's here. And so because she carries a French passport, and I'm married to someone with a French passport, even though Americans are banned from coming to Europe, that allowed us to come here. And it has been shocking to be in a place which has done this considerably better than the United States. There are, this whole thing about the U.S., I was talking to some folks back in New York saying, like, oh, yeah, you still can't go out to eat in person in a restaurant there. And I'm going, like, what? Like here you wouldn't even think twice about it. And we even went to, for my wife's and my 9th wedding anniversary, we went to Denmark because traveling throughout Europe is actually easy once you have on the European passports. And they've defeated COVID so well, no one even wears masks, period, anywhere, anytime. I mean, literally, it's like it never existed. And so there are places you do this well. I'm just shocked at how, our kids are not going to be able to enter school normally, et cetera, back in the States, when over here, that's not a problem at all. So, darn it. I wish we could get our act together and wear your damn masks, everybody.
Hey, there's a question in the list here for Richard.
Okay.
They're asking if he would post his macaroni and cheese recipe on the forums. There's actually a thread for this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And by the way, speaking of that, I gotta tell you, for me to get proper macaroni and cheese right here in my kitchen across the backyard here of our apartment, you can actually order Kraft macaroni and cheese at like $3 a box or something compared to 25 cents or 30 cents a box back, in Austin. And so you're already paying like a real, restaurant meal price just to get the dang box. But then to get things like the Cheese Whiz that's required, it is required to make Lord British macaroni and cheese. You must have a healthy dollop of Cheese Whiz to add in there. And that's actually particularly hard to get here. You can't actually buy it locally. I actually have to have friends buy it back stateside and throw it in a box and ship it to me. So, but I have my Cheese Whiz. I am happy to put up the proper proportions of how to cook the macaroni, the Kraft macaroni and cheese very al dente, a little bit of salt in that water, put in the full packet of cheese, and then the hefty, the heaping dollop of cheese whiz to make the piece de resistance, to make it just right. So I'll put it up on the forums. I'll go there tonight, hopefully, and get it up there.
Oh yeah,
Great.
I did the squirrel thing where I got distracted again. The actual reason I was bringing up that things were kind of at least flattening out in the U.S., although that may change because schools are starting to open right now, and I know that's going to be a big thing. But we are planning on ending 2x experience points is kind of where I was trying to get to that. That will probably end with the next release. But, and the big but behind that is I'm trying to make sure and adjust, just like the quest experience were pretty bad in terms of effort versus reward. A lot of the creatures are the same way, so that's something I'm trying to take a pass on. I'm trying to take a pass on any creatures tier 8 and above to look at the experience rewards for those. So rest in peace, East Reach Gap. I'm okay with that. There's other places. So the other thing is, I know many people, if you're in a good group, can already hit the ceiling attunement thing that I have that should never be hit, that you guys hit that. So I wasn't going to change that. So honestly, for some people, this may not change much for them. If you guys were able to hit 2x that, then I need to go watch you and break whatever you do. But that's still going to be there. So if you were exceeding that before, then this will actually probably not be anything for you, except you have to work a little harder. But I am going to take, like I said, I'm going to take a look at the rewards for different creatures to make sure that the effort associated with them actually, is proportional to the experience given. So, just so you know, let's see. Spindlecog Extreme is the new East Reach Gap, is what I hear. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Let's see. So I think we're just about. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, there's another question actually.
Okay.
Aimed towards me that was put up on the thing, asking what I do. So, and of course, I've labeled myself as the dev at large on the forum, since not far from the absolute truth. I flip from thing to thing to thing. My main projects right now, of course, are the Bug Brigade, which I talked about earlier, and I'm also working on redoing Hometown, getting all the houses decoed consistently, and actually remaking, it's a long-term thing, but remaking the scene. I'm working on the scene myself, to make it large enough so that way all the houses in the game, plus room for expansion for new houses, will fit on the surface and won't have to be in the example templates below and make it harder to find stuff. So there's a bunch of things there. That's a longer term project. I'll talk about that in my blog, which has been stale for the last few months since COVID started. But I'll get back in there and start updating my dev blog on the forums as well. So as I said, bugs, technically going to be the bug lead at this point. I'm working on Hometown. Doing various scene things, working on bugs themselves. I'm also working with Travis on stuff for coding. So eventually I will be helping with the code on the game. And also I was part of the meeting with Chris and Travis earlier about the doing patching and the implementation, migrations, and merging of trunks and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to get to that point there as well. One of the last things that I'll bring up is that, of course, I've wrested away from Star control of the Jira database. So I am going through that database and I am cleaning it. This means you, Richard.
Wait, before you go too far down that, you need to know there are some things in there that he was punting down the list that if you clean those out, things like cannibalism.
Yeah.
You just not clear those out. I'll watch the feed. You better not clear out any of my incredibly high priority 2 or 3 or 4 year overdue items that y'all better get onto, or we're gonna have some fisticuffs.
We'll have a meeting.
All right.
So anyway, yeah, there's stuff. There actually are duplicates and stuff, and things that have been fixed already, and there are mechanics that were in place, but have yet long since been abandoned, things like that. Anything with Lord British's name on it, of course, I would contact him first to make sure that it's okay to retire certain things. But anyway, that's I'm doing that. I'm updating the database and keeping the release system moving forward internally. So I'm basically a little bit of operations, a little bit of everything at this point.
And I wasn't on the stream at that time. Elgarian, did you get through your prizes and your fishing tournament and your all that?
Just waiting for you guys to start slowing down.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get that started at least. And yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
All right, we'll do. Well, guys, the fishing contest this week, it ended at noon Central today. It was a 1 week long contest like it is every week. We've got the POT portion took place in Rajazel, Valor, and Falling Waters Fortress. The PvP portion took place in Rune Ruins, and the lava fishing portion took place in Bunker C. But let's see who the winners were. Well, and of course, the prizes for the Player on Town portion, they win a Player on Town rollout deed, no trade, and a large gold fishing trophy. For the PvP portion, they win 2 chained obsidian shard, 3 packs with and a large silver fishing trophy. And for the lava portion, they win a fishing rod of prosperity, no trade, and a large bronze fishing trophy. And of course, anybody who participates, I'll also send them a participation trophy as well. It's just a little smaller. And so. POT winner is coming out of Falling Waters Fortress, measuring in its 2.67 ambiguous units, a sturgeon fished out by Big Mac. Congratulations, Big Mac. And let's see here. We've got fished out of Rune Ruins, measuring in at 4.65 ambiguous units, a tiger shark fished out by Sarah Dragon. Congratulations. And we've got out of Bunker C, measuring it at 5.51 ambiguous units, a large Dunkeliostius. Did I say that right? Fished out by Dugan the Red Hammer. Congratulations, Dugan. Alrighty. And then we got...
Next to that last one?
Did I not? 5.51 ambiguous units,
wow.
That large Dunkeliostius. There we go. And let's see here. For the events this week, oh, and also... the upcoming fishing contest, let's definitely go through that. The new fishing locations for POT this week is going to be Night's Watch, Crabnavere, and Islands of Wonders. And Islands of Wonders actually has a spin-off contest. Sometimes people announce a side contest, and he's got 2 kind of spin-off categories called Flappin' Fish and Beat the Locals. So be sure to check that out. And here's more information on his spin-off contest for that right in chat. But also the PvP portion is going to be in Libris Ruins this week, and the lava fishing portion is going to be in Sunless Barrens. Now, keep in mind, I don't know if I'm going to start it this week, but I just submitted maybe 7 or 8 new customized titles for developer-run contests. Ooh. And I do have one called Master Angler that I'll start handing out to the fishing contest winners.
Nice.
And also a big change, which might actually change how I do the criteria for the contest, is Wizard Smoke finished improving the logging for fishing on what we see on our side, so I can now see fish sizes in all different languages. That he said that right now the filter was only working for English. So what that'll help with is I don't have to have you guys mail me fish anymore to judge who the winners are. It'll speed things up, and you guys don't have to worry about the mail system. I don't have to worry about the mail system. So expect after Famines' contest at the end of the month for me to start a new contested variety for fishing. We'll still continue with the trophies the same way. But yeah, so please, stay tuned for the change instructions, and remember when they do happen not to mail me your fish. All right, so also we've got coming up the 2nd annual team fishing contest, speaking of fishing, and I'll be taking this week off from the fishing contest while Famine steps in and runs his for an entire week from noon to noon, Friday to Friday. It's going to be August 28th to September 4th, and it's going to be a partner fishing contest. So if you want to get more information on how to participate, get your team ready, and head on over there and let them know.
You said noon to noon. What time zone is that?
Oh, noon Central. Yeah, New Britannia time. Always New Britannia time.
I figured, but I just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah, it's good to always ask. We got a worldwide community. So this is an interesting contest run by Titania Zylia of shroudedtheavatar.net. So be sure to head there and participate with this if you would like. But really, all you have to do to participate, on the top left-hand corner of your screen, right-click your character profile where your health bars are at and say show name and public stats, and then you're already participating. But basically, randomly through those participants, they're going to be picking winners and giving out prizes to people who just share their data in the public API. And last but certainly not least, we have got the Mythical Dance Party coming up, guys. That's going to be on Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. Central in Sparrow Fall near Xenos in Port Phoenix area, down in Elysium Isle. And yeah, please jump over there, participate. That actually is going to be hosted and DJ'd by DJ Darkstar. I am not going to be there because I'm volunteering for trash pickup for an event in my town, like real life town. But unfortunately, I have to miss both parties because coming up shortly after, same day, 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Central, the actual release party run by the Avatar Radio, Virtue Radio folks. That's going to be in Nightmare Falls from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Central. And there's the ad for that as well. And that is all I got, guys.
So while Wizard Smoke was in updating stuff for the fish, did he fix the most important thing and go ahead and officially change it to ambiguous units?
I don't think he did. Nope. I think it just says
should've.
length or something.
Missed opportunity there.
Just so you know, there is a ticket open for that.
Okay.
There is,
And,
okay.
It's too late now to tell us tonight, but if somebody reminds me next time we're all on together, I'd love it. You're talking about people mailing you fish. I have a real world mailing you fish story that goes back to the origin days
Really?
as a prank, but I'll save that for the next trip.
Save it.
Okay.
All right, well, I think we're probably at the end here. You guys, anybody want a prize? El Garion will be taking care of you at some point here. And I think that's it. Any of you guys have anything?
Nope.
We didn't get through too many questions, and I wasn't on the stream a ton. I was on the stream, did my own stream on Wednesday. I'll do another one. I'm going to try to do another one next Wednesday. We'll see how that goes. That's the day before lockdown. You can look forward to hopefully a couple of patches tomorrow. I think we've got our process down so it won't be broken this time around, and it will actually work. And other than that, we'll put out some details on when we're going to turn off double experience, double XP, and I won't do it unless I can get to the update some of the numbers for the other stuff. Again, I see some people saying turn down the attenuation. We'll see how things go. I see someone saying they were able to get to attenuation in like 10 minutes or something like that. That's crazy. I'm going to go spy you and see what you're doing there. See where you're doing it is probably the bigger question. But again, I think that's it. And do we have someone?
Yeah, we've got 7 people to choose from. We've got the Graceful Bard, Silver Tree Consortium, Abstracts, Phoenix, Grumpy Crabnavir, Corlag the Bard, Alphane, and Last Diameter to choose from.
I'm gonna, well, let's see. That last one sounded new. I don't recognize the name.
Yeah, Last Diameter, spelled properly, one word.
Do we think they're probably a new streamer? Because I like rating the new streamers. Even as much as I like rating some of those other people, like
Let's
Bard
find
and
out.
some of the others. Last Diameter. Let's see. All right, well, we're going to go give them a treat. Well, hopefully they're a new streamer who will be giggly and ecstatic about it. You guys are, of course, welcome to go to watch whoever you want to. We're going to go give them a treat. Love the new streamers. And I think that's probably it. Guys, again, thank you for all your support. Thank you for all your patience on things. Again, we're continuing to work on trying to improve the community and taking some serious actions, I think, as some people know. And that is probably it, guys. I think we'll see you next Wednesday or next Friday. Have fun and let's go raid. And you don't even have to hear me sing this time around. Oh, and we didn't thank everybody, but thank you, Elron, the Real Black Axe, Beldurnick, Jantic, Stymie, LLTS, the Real Black Axe again, Shadow Vice, Lord British Rules, and everybody else who has contributed. So thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys. Let's go raid this new guy. Make sure and give him a follow to watch him, her giggle. And bam! Click that button. And